Hello everybody, welcome to the last video for 2025 on the Dalek build. The next 4 issues are here. I thank you very much for the time that you've spent with me watching this build, and I hope that you'll continue along into 2026. So without further ado, let's get started on these next 4 issues. Step number 47 is the continuation of the very bottom of the skirt of the Dalek. This is going to fill in this last section underneath. Same kind of parts are all set out. Got the screws. Going to go ahead and get this completed and get this attached onto the base. The first part that's going to be attached is part E here. And this is going to sit right up against part C. And then the little cap connector is going to go across and connect onto both of those. Just as I've done before, I am going to go ahead and glue this down using some of the classic gel style glue. And I'm going to be able to attach this in also with the screws to help hold this in place permanently. Press that down in. And the screw is going to hold that nice and tight. Finally, part F is going to span across the last gap area here and fill this in. And just as before, the little connecting bracket is going to go across and connect those together. And that is the end of step number 47. Step number 48, we begin to build the first wheel. The actual wheel itself that's going to go on the ground is a piece of plastic, and the tread area is a rough texture. You can hear me rubbing across that. However, the way that this was cast, there is a high point in the middle to be able to allow it to come out of the mold. I also wonder, how much grip it's going to have on a smooth floor, like a wooden floor. Maybe the overall weight of the Dalek will give it enough grip on the floor to be able to move it forward. This dome piece is going to sit off to the side. This is just creating, the a ball like the spheres on the sides of the Dalek skirt, just sort of keeping with the theme of the way that the Dalek is shaped. But it's not really doing anything to help with the movement of the Dalek itself. It's just more of a cosmetic piece to make it look within the theme of the item. Bracket that everything's going to get attached to is metal. It does definitely have a nice decent amount of weight to it, so that's why I'm wondering if just the overall weight itself will be enough to make the Dalek have enough grip on the floor. I would be curious with those who can do 3D printing if a very thin rubber tire, like with the Ninja Flex material, could be 3D printed to fit onto here and make sure that there was still clearance for the wheel to go through the opening in the base. So something for some people to be thinking about with that. So let's go ahead and get these pieces put together. So to complete step number 48, we actually don't need the metal bracket piece at this stage, so I'm going to set that aside. And putting these two pieces together is pretty straightforward. So I've got the 4 posts inside the dome section. We've got the 4 holes here in the actual tire part, the wheel part. And those just fit together like that, and then inserting the 4 screws. So this won't take very long to do. And that's the end of step number 48. Step number 49 is exactly like step number 48. And I'm not just reusing the same footage. Here's the other bracket, and here's the first part of the wheel that I've put together. So same basic types of parts, exact same construction. So once again, the construction is the same. Just put these 2 pieces together and insert each of the screws. And that is the end of step number 49. On to number 50. So here are the parts for step number 50. We get the other half of the wheel, the second part of the dome. We get 2 axle pieces, and then this connecting rod that's going to go between those 2 brackets that we got in 48 and 49. So the first part of step 50 is to take the 2 brackets that were supplied in the previous steps and set them into this orientation here. This creates effectively a left and a right, or more accurately, probably a front and the back. At any rate, once those are set down, the extruded aluminum piece is then going to fit over the 3 holes here. And then this is going to get screwed in. Just off camera, I have just a small amount of oil to go onto the screw. Just helps it go into the metal easier. And that pulls that in down nice and tight. Same thing is going to happen on the other end. And finally, these last two go in. And that creates the support begins the support for the wheels. And so the final part of step 50 is to take each of our second half of the domes and check to make sure that this axle piece fits into the center section here. There's a little plastic insert, and we're told to make sure that that is down inside, and that certainly does fit on there. There's no instruction at this point to either to glue that in or anything, so I'm not going to do any of that. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be able to spin as one piece or if it will spin separately, so I'm not going to do anything to it other than just to check its fit. Also, there's no instruction at this stage for attaching these two pieces together. They very clearly are going to go together like this, and screws are going to go down into each of those, but that is going to be for a little bit of a later stage. So I'm going to hold on that until we get the instructions to actually put that together. So there is the first one. Kind of looks like a little bit of a mushroom. And here is the second one. That one actually fits on a little looser. And there are those two wheel halves. These have to get kept safe until we're ready to install them. The large bracket piece here also has to be kept safe. There's a lot more of this to come along. They've got two more wheels to build. There are more of this bracketing that needs to be built. Coming up next year, we've got some lighting that's going to be going into the base. We've got the cover that's going to cover all of the metal work. So there's a lot coming up at the beginning of 2026. So thank you very much for sticking with me during this build. Again, I hope you will continue to follow along next year as this Dalek continues to grow. We'll get it up on its wheels and eventually start to move on up into the skirt and eventually into the shoulders. And before you know it, we're going to have a completed half-scale Dalek. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your year. Lots of holidays coming up. Please take care of yourselves. Be safe. Don't do anything stupid. Enjoy the end of the year. Celebrate the beginning of the new year as you see fit. And please come back and join me next time. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.